Cedric. Thank you very much for accepting EPSI's invitation to be part of um, the interviews for the EASM project. First of all, if possible, could you tell me a little bit more about you, about your experience in the field of sport, in the field of mental health, and in which roles have you already operated?
Okay. So I first graduated as a clinical psychologist of the Ghent University in Belgium. After that, I continued my studies in the Erasmus Mundus project, European Masters of Sport and Exercise Psychology, studying at Trikala in Greece and Leipzig in Germany. After that, I started working, first of all, as a sport psychologist, working together with federations or clubs. As a sport psychologist, focused both on improvement of performance and mental performance, but also to help deal with problems that present themselves regarding mental health. I've been doing that for the most part of my career so far, combined with also a job as a regular primary care mental health psychologist outside of sport in general. Then I became fully independent last year in April 2022, where I continue to build my practice as a sport psychologist, but also started focusing more on the health side of things. So not only performance psychology, but also health psychology. That meant also an increase in the focus on exercise psychology compared to just sport psychology, meaning that I'm looking into either ways to get people more active and live a healthy lifestyle as a prevention of physical and mental health problems, but also exploring how sport and exercise, movement in general, can serve as a treatment method for people suffering from mental health problems. That's the latest addition, I would say, to my private practice and a field that I'm really exploring at the moment. So that would be the summary, I think.
That's great. So let's proceed to the second question, and maybe could you elaborate more on what's the potentials of sport and physical activity for people with mental disorders?
Well, first of all, there are all the physical benefits. It's shown in studies that sport and exercise in different forms, different intensities, and dosages, the FIT acronym, frequency, intensity, time, and type, has effects on our body. It has to do with several different pathways, dopamine systems, endocannabinoid systems, BDNF. A lot of chemical structures in the brain are activated and influenced by exercise. Chemical pathways that are often also hindered when people are suffering from mental health. So this is one way we could say that sport and physical activity can benefit people with mental health. On the other hand, there's also more the psychological pathway, is that people learn through doing. By going for a run, they can take a time out from whatever circumstances at home causes them to ruminate or stay inside their own head. Um, they can learn to deal with barriers. They can learn to listen to their body, and all these kind of things can help build resilience to cope better with everyday life stresses. So to put it very broadly, sport and physical activity can be an action metaphor for dealing with life, if I could say it like that.
Okay. And what is needed, according to your opinion, in order to be able and promote this kind of sport and physical activity related interventions? How it...
Uh-huh. Um, First of all, I would say as you explained in the introduction of all the different stakeholders, collaboration. Although both mental health care and sport has been proven to improve mental health, they are often working in different faculties, and sometimes collaborations are difficult. For example, concrete example in Belgium, we have an initiative. Uh, I'm trying to translate it to English. It's called exercise on referral, I think would be the correct referral, so that general practitioners, doctors, can prescribe exercise, and the patients are connected with coaches that are trained to deliver this. However, all these coaches have a master's degree in exercise science, which is a good thing. They are very welcome. But all people with a degree or a diploma in psychology or even sport psychology that don't have a master's degree in exercise sciences are excluded. We cannot offer the services. While I would think we can benefit because the core of the program is on behavior change and help people exercise or move more. So we need the integration of both the exercise science knowledge and the psychological knowledge. So integration is a first important step. Another important thing I would say is being careful with prescription, because I see the benefits of exercise as medicine, because exercise is medicine if you look at the list of benefits. However, if we promote exercise merely as a medicine, we are missing a few important points. What I mean by that is that if we just look at medicine in the form of pills, you usually take them because you have to. You take them for as long as you have to. And often when people start feeling better, they quit or reduce the dosage of the medicine they need to take. There's a lot of literature proving that. So if we phrase exercise as medicine, we probably will start seeing the same things, that people follow a prescription just because they have to. They go through the movements, and once they start feeling better, they abandon the healthy lifestyle, probably often in many cases. While I would say that sport and physical activity is so much more than just a medicine. It can be part of a lifestyle. It can be really something that gives meaning to people. For example, connection with other people. For example, in the sense of mastery in their life, in the sense of finding pleasure. Finding pleasure is something you don't usually associate with taking a pill, but sport and exercise have the opportunity, the potential for all of this. So that's another thing I would say. Be careful with purely focusing on exercise as medicine, purely focusing on prescription, and actually help people find what works for them. From a biological standpoint, I see the advantages of cardiorespiratory fitness and doing cardio training. But again, there's so many forms of movement that are possible that we cannot exclude, for example, yoga, dance, weightlifting, because all of these, even though they are less researched, they have potential benefits as well. And we need to find what works for which persons. But for that, we need a very broad scope. So that's another thing that I think is really important in this mission that we're looking for.
Okay, that was great. Thank you very much for answering our questions.